everybody, and welcome back to Odin's movie blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well, and today I'm recording a video a little bit later than usual. Had to do some stuff actually getting a new house, so that has now been officially confirmed. Woohoo! So you probably will, over the next week or two, see some things that will be changing around. Might be in a different background space as I get Wi-Fi and internet and stuff like that moved to the new location. And also, of course, still need to do some stuff over in the new house. And so whether or not I'm able to get everything set up completely and have everything looking nice and nifty, it's probably going to be a while before all that stuff happens. And you might even have some videos that might be skipped sometime next week, so just be on the lookout for that. If you do watch these videos daily, you might have a couple of days next week. It most likely would be the time period where I might not be able to get a video out in time. But in the meantime, and thank you in advance, because I know that a lot of people have been reaching out saying congratulations. It's great to finally have those keys. But what's also very exciting is the fact that the White House yesterday, at its daily briefing that it always has dealing with the pandemic, unveiled some new measures about how we can reopen the economy, which is great news because Lord knows that a lot of us need to get out of our houses and need to go back to work, especially for those people that might not have the work to go to right now and might not be getting paid, especially. A lot of people have been reaching out to me saying various things about furloughs, about possibly even being, laid off, etc. And so, again, prayers and thoughts go out to any single person that's being directly impacted by this. But this is the kind of stuff that we need to start hearing about because obviously we have been able to get this thing under control to an extent. Obviously, there are certain states in our country that are still very much affected by that, and so we still need to try and do everything that we can to help those people out to the best of our abilities, to try and follow the social distancing guidelines to the best of our ability as well. But it is really cool also to see that there is indeed a light at the end of the tunnel, and that seems to be indicated here because one of the things listed, and the reason why this is associated and connected with the video for today and on my channel, is because the movie theater business was a part of the large venues for what can reopen. This actually makes a lot of sense because these are venues where you have very large spaces, which means you have the better ability to social distance in them. And so it makes sense that you could say, okay, we can open up the theaters, but you can only have people in one every 5 or 6 seats or whatever kind of distancing they want to do. I know it's not the best case scenario, but hey, I'll take whatever I can at this point because the moment I can actually go back to a movie theater and see movies again will be a day that I will be happy indeed. So let's go ahead and go through this article once again from Deadline, where it says the White House on Thursday unveiled a set of guidelines to governors on reopening the country with recommendations that movie theaters and other large venues can reopen, but only with continued adherence to physical distancing. The guidelines set out 3 phases for reviving the economy, but only after states or regions meet a set of criteria that includes a downward trajectory of cases within a 14-day period, or of positive tests as a % of total tests within that time frame. The White House guidelines also say that states have the ability to set up safe and efficient screening and test sites. Even then, President Trump reportedly made clear in a phone call with governors on Thursday that it was up to them to determine what to do. That is a reversal from Trump's. Okay, and there we're going to see he's okay. So now Deadline's trying to put political spin on it. But anyway, so the governors in each state have the opportunity and have the decision to make these decisions to open businesses back up. This is very, very big news, right? Because when it comes to the economy and when it comes to the movie theater industry and the movie studio industry, etc., you need to have movie theaters open to really get the movies out. Yes, you have video on demand, and that's been somewhat successful with films like Trolls World Tour, but that was making sense because you have families and kids that want to see those movies, and you have families at home especially going crazy because their kids have had to stay at home for the past 2, 3, 4 weeks, and you want to try and get them something to get them off of your hands for a little bit. So it makes sense that a movie like that would actually, or rather, a movie like that would do as well. But there are other smaller films, like, for example, Emma, which probably isn't doing all that well on home release. I really can't say. I'm sure Universal will release some type of numbers since we don't have a box office to really go off of at this point. But it's just exciting to hear about this news, especially with everything that's still going on, with a lot of people still being impacted by this, that there is indeed an end in sight. I know that the governor of the great state of Tennessee, where I currently live, has said that they are planning to try and start the process of reopening businesses starting May 1st. So that is a very, very cool thing. So hopefully that indeed still remains true, because that means that movie theaters will likely open in my state sometime within the month of May, which is very exciting. Obviously, it's also up to the individual theater chains, but I imagine that they would much rather have a small amount of clientele than no people whatsoever. course, there's also the mindset of, well, how much can we actually save on as far as, we have to still spend electricity money, and if we're going to be paying to have an entire theater being shown, what does that cost for electricity to run that movie? And how many people can we have in that theater to make it actually worth our while? Do we need to increase ticket prices short term? Do we need to increase popcorn and soft drink prices short term? I don't think they're going to do that, because I think that that's going to keep people from coming to the theater and it's going to push more people away. But still, it's interesting that, we had our position where Cinemark just a few days ago said that on their conference call, July 1st was the date that they were looking to start getting things going again. But we have here from the White House that it could actually be potentially sooner. Of course, this is going to be completely up to the individual states and also the individual companies like Regal, AMC, and Cinemark to decide. But it's just really cool to have this in place and to have these guidelines in place. And obviously, we know that there are doctors behind the scenes that have been advising. And so this likely is from the guidance of those doctors to say, yeah, we can absolutely reopen these businesses, and as long as we have these social guidelines in play, it'll be safe for them to be able to do so. But what do you think? Do you think that movie theaters are going to be opening sometime in the month of May? Or do you think that many states will play it safe and will say, you know what, we're going to hold off on this a little bit. It's great that we have this ability to do these things, but we're going to hold off just a little bit. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. If you like this video, smash that like button, hit that subscribe. It helps out a lot. You're all amazing and beautiful people. I want to give a shout out to Albertus Magnus, who became a Patreon member earlier today. So thank you very much, good sir. And because of the random crazy times, JJBnet, thank you for joining yesterday or last couple of days over on Subscribestar as well. So I just wanted to give y'all shout outs, and I plan to put y'all in the video for April that is about to play, but obviously closing on a house takes up some time, transferring all these different things and making sure the dates work out. And oh man, it's going to be a crazy next couple of weeks, but luckily we've got a couple of weeks to move before we have to be out of the current location, and it's great to have a place to go. So anyway, you guys are all amazing and beautiful people. Have a wonderful day, and as always, God bless. And now a huge shout out to my April Patreon and Subscribestar members. We have animation commentator Brian P., Dion, Divex, Elizabeth M., Enrique Evangelista, Father Christopher Miller, Hail Father, Frank the Tank and the Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan, Harold Francis, The Hunker Chunky Funky Monkey, Inflamed Wood, Intertrap Productions, Jason Clark, Jeffrey Toon, JJ Jonathan Jerembeck, Kenneth Cameo, Lady T, Mad Mitch Dunaway, Mike Jackson, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin with the beautiful hair, Orange Hat Reviews, Outpost Dyer, Perpetual Punster, Riff Magos, Rosetta Allen, Steve Glasker, Teresa Martin, Theodore Bendon, The DJD Show, and Tina B. And to my Subscribestar members, Robert Revo, Mr. Roy, Glinzer, G2 Cool 99, Dark Star 57, J. Alex McCarthy Jr., US 888209 Fast, Dean Heiss, Harold Francis, J-Rod the Beer Guru, Nevadon G. Adams, and ZK-Man. And out of step with reality, I'm going to go ahead and leave that blank spot just previously in case any more people decide to become a Patreon or Subscribestar member over the next few days. Just remember that as soon as you sign up, you are immediately eligible for any of the benefits. If you just sign up at the $1 tier on Subscribestar or Patreon, you get a shout out at the end of every single video, including my live streams. If you're a $5 or up backer on either platform, you get access to exclusive giveaways where I give away several 4K Blu-rays, digital copies every single month as well. If you jump up to the $10 tier on either platform, you get access to all of that, plus you get access to an exclusive podcast that I do with my friend John the Flick Pick of John Flickinger and the Flick Pick fame. We do a bi-weekly podcast, so every 2 weeks or so we do one. So you get probably about 2 or 3 depending on what's going on, probably more so now with everything going on in the craziness of our world. But you do get access to that. Also, if you are at that $10 tier, it means that you get to take part in the Q&A part of that podcast. And so about 24 to 48 hours before the podcast, maybe even longer beforehand, I'll leave a post in the Patreon Subscribestar. You'll be able to leave a comment on a question that you want us to answer, on a topic that you want us to cover in a future podcasts as well. All of that you have access to. And if you're a $25 backer and up, you get all of those things. Plus, you get a t-shirt for your first month. That's right. You get a free t-shirt, high quality Odin's Movie Vlog t-shirt. So just make sure if you're at a $25 and up backer level, you leave your address. That way I know where to send that to. And also I will be messaging you to get your size information. That way I can send that out to you as quickly as possible. But you also get access to an exclusive Chosen of Valhalla live stream that we have once a month on this channel, where I invite you to be on the show. You can either show your face or not show your face, or hey, you don't have to show up at all. It's totally up to you. And we talk about a wide variety of things. We talk about movies that you've been watching, modern things going on, the pop culture, and pretty much anything that you yourself want to talk about. So if any of these things sound interesting to you and things that you'd want to do, please hit that Patreon subscribe star link in the description of this video and think about joining today. Have a wonderful day, everybody. And as always, God bless.